What is up, guys? We are back for another... What? You look so surprised. We are back. What are we doing here today, Jericho? Hold on, let me see. What do we got over here? Okay, there's a Stereon over there. There's the Black Mirage. What are we doing? I know, huh? What are we doing today?
Something's missing.
I think my Z is missing.
Yeah.
That's what's missing.
Where did it go?
It's on the side of the house. It's back. See? It's right there. It's right there. Why is it on the side of the house?
Because I ordered my Z, I got jealous.
Uh-huh.
And I ordered it from Wish, and it's finally here.
You ordered your Z from Wish?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is our good friend, Mr. Gordon's 1973 Datsun 240Z. And he's having us pretty much put the whole thing back together. Right now, it's a rolling shell. It's pretty much in the same state that my Z was in when we started, but he actually has the AC and heater already set up. He did have the car painted recently, so yeah, they did inside and out. It's a pretty loud color, in my opinion.
That's pretty nice.
It's all right though. It's all right.
Yeah.
Cool. So pretty much what he's gonna have us do is do all, like I said, just put the whole thing back together. We're gonna be installing my old motor into here. We're going to be rebuilding the entire steering and suspension on it, replacing it with some nice urethane bushings, putting struts, putting some new springs in it, be putting in the dash. The dash right now is getting restored. I think we're going to be rocking these seats. I think he's going to have them redone. Changing out that steering wheel, wiring it all up, and just pretty much making it roadworthy. Doing the brakes on it, doing a little brake upgrade, and well, that's pretty much it. It's pretty basic.
Probably lower too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely getting lower. He does have some wheels he'll be dropping off too, so cool. I can't wait to see those. So all right, so what we're gonna start off with is pretty much getting it up in the air, putting it on jack stands, so we can move the wheels, drop all the suspension components on it, drop the cross member. Pretty much, yeah, and start taking inventory of everything that we currently have for it, and yeah, just go from there. So this is probably the first car that we'll be featuring here that is normal.
Oh, I was gonna say that's not ours.
That's not ours. Yeah, one's not ours, and two, it's normal. It's nothing super custom on it. It's pretty much just let's make the Z rise from its grave.
Resto mod?
Not even a mod.
Mod.
It's a resto regular. So, all right. Let's go ahead and get this up in the air and see what we're dealing with. All right, guys. We have it up on all 4 jack stands, and we remove the old tires off of it and wheels. So we're just checking out what's going on. Look at that. Came with no brake pads. But it's alright. It's okay. So we're gonna be doing a brake upgrade up on it anyway. Alright, not bad. Just wanna kinda document any scratches or dings on this before we start. So I know there was a few that just dust. Oh yeah, it's just dust. You know, we had some scratching up here. A piece right there. Okay. What are you doing?
Cutting some pipes.
You Kimbo slicing it up?
Yeah.
Alright. We'll talk about that later. Alright. And that's pretty straight. Pretty straight. One light hanging out. A little bit of damage here. And that light probably being like that. Okay. Dented inward a little bit right here. After we're done with this, we'll probably have to go in for little touch-ups here and there afterwards. So according to the owner, when he purchased this vehicle, actually this vehicle's been sitting up in the mountains in a cabin for many years. I guess somebody had cut a sunroof into it, and as we know, the Z's didn't come with a sunroof. It shouldn't have a sunroof. So he purchased the whole top of the car from a donor, and the body guy went ahead and cut and welded the whole roof on it, and did a pretty good job. Not that bad. You see where it joins up right here? Okay. All right. So yeah, okay. Not too bad. I mean, we got our work cut out here for us. My camera does not want to stay focused. So it's going to the inside. Yep, still got the original vinyl on there. Doesn't have the floor mats. So got the original vinyl wrapping in the trunk area. So, but after we're all done, he's actually going to be taking care of the interior. I think he's going to have it custom done, or if he was going to do it himself, I'm not exactly sure. But we're tasked with getting it rolling reliably back on the street again. So yeah, we're going to start tearing down. I'm going to start tearing down the cross member, the entire front suspension and steering on it, and then moving on to the back. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are going to call it here for tonight. We went ahead and removed the entire front end on it. You can see it's actually only a few bolts, but it's got some weight to it. We're just kind of assessing what else we might need. I know the mounts look a little rusty, but the rubber is actually pretty good. We can possibly reuse these. I have to check the rear, so next time we'll be dropping the whole rear suspension, and then we can power wash this and start tearing it down to replace all the bushings, because they are still 1970 status. Also the lower ball joints, I gotta go through all the stuff that he had given me and see what he has or what he's gonna need to for us to complete this. Not too bad of a job on these. I mean, you definitely need a press to do what we're about to do. Definitely helps. None of that torching out bushings or anything. I mean, definitely have the right tool for that. So yeah, cool. A lot of the bolts are a little stubborn. I'm sure it's never been removed before off this car, judging by the rust on all the heads of the bolts. Right?
A lot of WD-40.
Yeah, a lot of WD-40. You gotta get more of that. Alright guys, it's actually the next day. We were up pretty late last night getting the front end down on it, and also had a little problem with my garage door closing, but luckily we had the guy come over and he fixed it. Thank you. Alright, so now we're here in the rear end of the car, and you can see it's missing its differential already, so that'll cut down some removal time now. We do have the diff over there for it. It is the original R180 differential, nothing fancy. So yeah, so the car was purchased, I believe, without the differential, and he came up on that differential, if I remember right. So eventually we'll be installing that into here. So what we're gonna have to do first is, just to make it easier for us, we're going to see if there's any more fuel in here, or it's probably really nasty. So we're gonna drain it and then wind up removing the fuel tank, because we're gonna need to send that out to go get cleaned out, because I'm pretty sure it's nasty inside. Look nasty. At you. Look at right. So after we remove that, we can go ahead and remove pretty much the whole rear suspension then. And that one's not too bad either. Yeah, it's pretty much a few key bolts in there, pretty much, or nuts. Remove those. Move the bolts over in here, and then remove the strut tower. the strut tower bolts from inside the hatch area, and disconnect the parking brake lines, and also the hard brake lines that go to the drums. And we can lower this all in one piece, and that makes the job a lot easier. You can do it from the outside. Cool. And I know for a fact that there are the I believe they're called spindle rods that go through here, and those are always a pain in the butt to remove out of these. So we'll see what we're gonna do about that, and we'll go from there. So, are you ready, Mr. GQ?
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it is easy. Yeah, according to the Nissan book, you should see the little animated guy just pulling that shaft out like it's nothing. Little bastard.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's get to work. All right, let's see if we have anything in here. From what year? I don't know. Oh. Yes. It is empty.
The suspense.
I know. Cool. Alright, nothing in there. Awesome. Now what I know is going to be really difficult is removing the filler neck in there, because over time the rubber gets really hard, and it's really hard to remove the Phillips heads that they chose to use from the factory. Let's have a look. Yeah, you get all muddy. And I believe they use Phillips heads. Turn on my flash here. Yeah, see right there? It's gonna be a problem removing this guy. So hopefully it's still pliable and we can just remove it from the hose clamp without damaging it. So, but if worst comes to worst, we have to wind up replacing that. That's gonna be the problem. Those rusty old Phillips head screws. So cool, let me go ahead and grab a Phillips head for that. Remove that. We can remove the straps right here. Perfect. And then the fuel tank will come down. We have a lot of these breather hoses. Like, a lot of them are old. Looks like it's starting to. This one looks like it's starting to split. So ultimately, all these hoses will have to be replaced as well, or else you'll get that nasty fuel smell inside the cabin of the vehicle. We don't want that. This has been replaced at one time. Cool. We might have to go through the fuel lines, possibly replace the fuel lines, because like I said, I'm not really too sure on how long this has been sitting. We know on our previous project we made the mistake of not replacing the lines, and I believe that car sat for about 5 years, and it was pretty much like a sandy beach inside of the fuel tank. So we definitely don't want that for the Z. We don't want that nasty stuff getting into the engine, into the carburetors, because it's going to be a lot more difficult later on. But for the most part, this car is not rusty. It still has its original floor pans on it. Little little dents here and there. That's normal. Very good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove these and get the tank down. All right, we got the fuel tank down. Let's go and have a look inside.
Yeah, it's nasty,
Ooh, very gross.
Worse than a stereo.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a thick layer of nasty in there. All right, cool. Definitely gotta send this to the shop. That is the fuel level sensor right in there. Fuel level sender, sorry. But you can see, looks like the beaches right there. Look at all that layer of sand and grit, old gas. Yeah, definitely going out. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the sending unit, which is right here, and we check on that one, see if it needs to be replaced or if it's still good. Hard to say. We'll wind up sending this to a radiator shop where they could pressure test it and boil everything out of it, kind of like what we did with the Stereon, and then yeah, bring it back brand new again. Brand new. All right, man. So you seen this? You seen this, Mr. Gordon? It's pretty gross. We don't want that flowing into the engine, to your carburetors. It's gonna ruin everything. All right, cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and set that aside, and now we can move on to dropping the rear suspension. All right, guys, we have the whole rear suspension disassembled and removed from the Z. As you can see, it's pretty much a bunch of 14 millimeters and a couple 17s. The drums, everything are one unit. As you can see, this one uses a Chapman style strut where there's a cartridge refill, the tube, and the lower, pretty much I guess you can say the spindle or knuckle, whatever you want to call that, is all one. This is the spindle rod that goes through here, which is going to be a pain in the butt. We're going to try to separate that here in a moment. I know for sure we do have replacements for that. Anytime you do an old Z like this, you definitely want to purchase those, because it's more than likely you're not going to have a chance to reuse that. So you can see all the bushings are extremely old. And like I said, we do have the whole Prothane set for it. We're going to inspect the bushings on it, inspect the rear brakes on it. I said bushing, I'm sorry, bearings. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. Which is probably not, more than likely. So we got, this is the mustache bar that was mounted in there. That differential that Gordon had picked up for us came with a mustache bar. See? Yes. I don't have words for you.
There it is, man.
There it is. It's all out.
You wanted to spin it? Oh, spin it. It's not that good. Oh, it's very tight.
Wow. It looks a little... Someone tried to knock it out one time.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Also, we did discover that our brake lines are in bad shape. Actually, the rubber part. The steel part, not so bad. But you can see it's starting to rip right here. So definitely want to replace those after we reinstall everything. The other side was extremely stubborn. It looked like someone obviously had been in here before and rounded off the flare nut. So we actually had to cut this to get this off. So, which is all right. Cool. So I think we're gonna attempt to remove the spindle nut, and we'll see if I remember right. I remember actually cutting it off with a Sawzall and then pressing the pieces out. So let me see what I'm gonna do. I'll be right back. All right. So after removing the 17 millimeter, you can see how they get pretty shredded up. See that? So obviously we're gonna be replacing. We have new rods. So yeah, and then not to forget the little wedge retainer right here. You can see how easy or how hard that is to come out.
Ready. Wow.
Okay. It's not over yet, man.
We're done.
Right. Okay. Usually when you purchase these in a set, they come with new wedge retainers. I like to call them wedge retainers. All right. So, now I'm ready. So it looked like it was covered up, but yeah, I remembered they're supposed to go on through there. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch it out.
You're stubborn.
Try hitting it directly with the hammer. Okay. There it goes.
Stand by.
There we go. All right. See, this pretty much supposed to keep the pin kind of centered, exactly where it's going to go. But like I said, you know, after hundreds of years of it being in here, it's hard to come out. So I'm just gonna. You never know. I mean, all the other Z's I've ever worked on, they do make a special tool that'll extract it. I know worst case scenario, what I used to do was actually run a Sawzall in between here to cut it there, and on the opposite side, and I would actually take the whole assembly and put it in my press and press the rod out. Let's see if we could just hit it out. Just try. You never know. Let's see. Let's put it this way. Either way you want to go. Oh shoot, I don't believe it. Why wasn't it that easy last time? Oh, that's
strong, baby.
Oh, that's right. Forgot who I was messing with. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you put like a punch in there or something. All right, let me go get you a punch.
Maybe a good punch.
We're getting bit by mosquitoes out here. All right, so it seems to be coming out pretty good. It's got this long rod right here. Just bashing on it. Is that rod too big?
Too big.
Okay. All right, well, everybody gets the point now. This is awesome. I hope the other side comes out just like this, but I need to find... Okay, well, that'll work too. Should be a punch, but it's all right. We will sacrifice a perfectly good extension for this. Look at that. That's amazing. You know, I could almost pull it out like that animated guy.
No, it's too short.
I'll get a longer extension. All right, and there we have it. We got the spindle pins out. Freaking awesome. I was all ready. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a crazy night. Yes, yes. It's wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Buff Jericho, Mr. GQ, Mr. everything else, Mr. Jolly B.
Mr. Plus 6'3".
Mr. Plus 6'3". Cool. So, all right. Well, we're going to stop here for the night. We got to get these things cleaned up. So, we're still actually waiting for springs for this. For whatever reason, there's a national back order on the lowering springs for this. We usually use IBOC for this, but for whatever reason, it's months. 6 months. It's crazy on back order. So we're trying to see if we can come up on a set of lowering springs for this. So we got a few guys out looking for us right now. So hopefully that comes through. In the meanwhile, we can start pretty much doing like the bushings on here, painting those, cleaning up those arms, scuffing them up and painting them to make them look brand new again. Freaking awesome. Cool, man. All right. So, all right, yeah, I'm gonna stop here. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave any comment you have below, or let your hate flow. And yeah, everyone have a good night. Oh, really quick before I forget, the strut mount, the upper strut mounts or isolators are still in good reusable order, so we'll be reusing those. Cool. So there's some money saved for you, Mr. Gordon. All right. Have a good one.